Welcome, dear dreamers and faithful hearts, back to our quiet place beneath the stars, where ancient stories rest softly and God's promises unfold one gentle moment at a time. Tonight, we step into a season of peace after battle, wisdom after struggle, and prayer after promise. A young king will ask not for riches or power, but for a listening heart. And from that prayer will rise a house not made for God to live in, for he fills heaven and earth, but a place where his people may come close. So settle in, breathe deeply, and let your heart journey to a golden age of wisdom, worship, and wonder. This is one King's Solomon and the Temple. After the days of David, the shepherd king who sang to the Lord, his son Solomon was chosen to sit upon the throne of Israel. Solomon was young, and the weight of leadership felt heavy upon his shoulders. The kingdom was large, the people many, and the calling great. One night, as Solomon slept, God came to him in a dream. His voice was gentle, steady, and full of love. "Ask," God said, "and I will give it to you." Solomon's heart trembled, not with fear, but with humility. He did not ask for long life. He did not ask for riches or victory over enemies. Instead, he whispered a simple prayer. "Lord, give me a listening heart so I may lead your people wisely." God smiled. Because Solomon asked for wisdom rather than wealth, God promised him both. Wisdom beyond measure, and blessings he had not even requested. Soon, Solomon's wisdom became known throughout the land. Two women once came before him, each claiming to be the mother of the same child. The room fell silent as Solomon listened. With insight given by God, he revealed the truth, and peace was restored. The people marveled. They saw that God's wisdom truly lived within their king. Israel entered a time of peace. The borders were secure. The people rested from war. And Solomon turned his heart toward the promise God had spoken to his father David. "Your son will build my house," God had said. So Solomon began to build the temple, not because God needed a home, for heaven and earth cannot contain him, but so the people would have a sacred place to pray, to worship, and to remember. Cedars were brought from Lebanon. Stones were cut and shaped with care. Gold gleamed in the sunlight. Every detail was prepared with reverence. No sound of hammer or chisel echoed on the holy hill, only quiet devotion. For 7 years the temple rose. And when it was finished, Solomon gathered the people. The priests carried the Ark of the Covenant into the most holy place. Clouds filled the temple, thick, radiant, and holy. The glory of the Lord settled among his people. Solomon stood before the altar. He lifted his hands toward heaven, and he prayed. "O Lord," he said softly, "there is no God like you. Hear the prayers spoken in this place. When your people are weary, forgive. When they are lost, guide them. When they cry out, listen." Fire fell from heaven. The people bowed, and joy filled the land. For many years, Solomon ruled with wisdom. Songs were written, proverbs were spoken. Visitors came from distant lands, even a queen, to hear his understanding and witness the beauty of God's blessing. Yet, as time passed, Solomon's heart began to wander. He listened to many voices, not all of them wise, and slowly he forgot the simplicity of that first prayer for a listening heart. The kingdom remained glorious, but cracks quietly formed. Still, God's faithfulness did not fail. His promises stood firm, and his plan continued even through human weakness. As Solomon grew old, the sun set gently on a golden age. the temple still stood, prayers still rose, and God remained present, patient, steady, and faithful. And so, dear dreamers, we close this chapter, a story of wisdom freely given, beauty carefully built, and prayers lifted toward heaven. Solomon reminds us that the greatest treasure is not gold or glory, but a heart that listens for God's voice. Thank you, dear hearts, for sharing this quiet moment beneath the stars. As you rest tonight, may you remember God delights in humble prayers, faithful hearts, and lives shaped by His wisdom. Join me next time as the kingdom begins to divide and the voices of prophets rise, calling God's people back to truth, courage, and hope. Until then, may your dreams be peaceful, your heart attentive, and your sleep wrapped in the steady presence of God's unfailing love. Good night, dear dreamers, and may wisdom gently guard your rest.